And we are excited to be joined by Jason Terry, head coach for the Grand Rapids Gold and 2011 NBA champion. Jason, I imagine with the playoffs going on, this time of year has to bring back a lot of memories for you.
Oh, definitely does. This is a fantastic time of year for, former NBA players like myself and NBA fans alike. Just because the season is coming towards an end and we're ready to crown a new NBA champion here shortly.
And I know you've been a part of some of the NBA Twitter live broadcasts. What have you enjoyed about that experience and getting to be involved with the playoffs, but in a different capacity now that you're not playing anymore?
Well, super excited, about TNT and Turner and the whole entire family being able to be involved in Twitter Live. One, it keeps me close to the action on site, at the playoff games. But two, it allows me to interact with the fans on their social media platform of Twitter. So super exciting time, always fun to be able to interact and be involved.
Now, have you been able to connect with any of your maybe former teammates, former coaches? I know you've kind of been all around the country the last couple of weeks. Who have you been able to connect with?
Well, last night I was very fortunate to be on the same broadcast with Isaiah Thomas, who played, I believe, 5 or 6 games with us in Grand Rapids. He had an outstanding run with us, averaging almost 48 points a night before he was called up. And then I was able to see a game with the Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets live. And I got to see Nick Stauskas and Matt Ryan, two guys that performed extremely well for us with the Grand Rapids Gold. But, extremely proud of those guys getting an opportunity to be called up and live out their wildest dreams.
Yeah, Nick Stauskas and Matt Ryan, I know they probably haven't gotten the playing time that they had hoped for or maybe imagined, but I'm sure there's something to be said about just getting the playoff experience. How valuable is that for a new guy in the league to get that experience?
No doubt, the experience is everything. And speaking to those guys, they couldn't be happier with being on a team that's playing late into May, going on into June, and having a realistic opportunity to win a championship. Because whether you're the starter, whether you're the sixth man, or whether you're a guy that just got called up from the G League and you're on the back end of that roster, you'll still get a championship ring if they win that old championship. So those guys are having fun. It's an exciting time for those guys. But, though we're not a part of the Celtics organization, we're rooting those guys on individually because they're still part of Grand Rapids Gold.
Yeah, what is the ceiling for them? Where can they grow now that they've made it to this next step in their career? Maybe we can start with Nick first.
Well, I believe Nick is a rotational player in our league, and the Celtics believe in him, and they've rewarded him with a nice contract for 2 seasons. Matt Ryan's very similar. Matt Ryan has an elite skill set that not a lot of guys possess, but it's very valuable in our league today, and that's the ability to shoot and make shots from distance. And so in that alone, he's very valuable.
Now, 2 of your former teams, 2 teams that you played for, have made it to the conference finals. What is it like for you to experience that? Do you root for one team or another, or how do you kind of manage that now as maybe alum of both the Celtics and the Mavericks?
Always tough. Glad those guys aren't competing against one another, but I have friends on both teams, the coaching staff of the Dallas Mavericks, ownership, and a couple players. But then, the guys I coached, with the Gold, Nick and Matt, and also very close to Jason Tatum and his family and the Celtics organization as well. So, rooting for both of those would be nice if they both ended up in the finals. And then I'd be torn, but I'd be happy for whoever came out with the trophy at the end because there's no loser in any of those situations. So, just proud of both teams, kind of rooting for both.
Yeah, I know the Mavericks avoided the sweep last night. Do you think they can get it done over Golden State?
I definitely do. The way they shoot the basketball, when they have a rising star, or not even rising, he's arrived now in Luka Doncic, they're always in a position to win a game. And so if they can go to Golden State, continue to shoot, continue to get contributions from their role players, and Luka continue to play at a high level, they give themselves a realistic chance to win this game and extend the series to a 6 game.
Do you miss it at all, playing professionally? Or are you kind of maybe happy with where you're at in your career right now, or does this maybe bring back a little bit of a nostalgia, just kind of watching your guys play?
Make no mistake at all, but I'm very happy to be on this part of my journey, coaching, mentoring, and teaching these young men along their journey. But, there are times when you're sitting close to that action where you wish coach would look down the end of the bench and call your number. So I know those days are long behind me, but you definitely get that itch from time to time, especially this time of year.
Yeah. Should we expect to see you back here in Grand Rapids next season? Is that the plan for
No,
now?
no doubt about it. I am your acting coach, sitting coach, and until somebody tells me different, we'll be shooting for those playoffs next year. And I want to thank all the fans in Grand Rapids for coming out and supporting our team. It's a tremendous fan base, and the best is yet to come for not only the fan base but for our organization as a whole.
And I know you guys are getting a new home next year, moving on from the Deltaplex. Is there anything you can tell us about that and maybe where you guys might be playing next season?
Long as they got a little heat in the building, we'll be all right. Because sometimes that old Deltaplex got cold. But you know what? I can't complain at all. For my first experience as a head coach, I couldn't ask for a better organization from ownership on down. Those guys were first class. They treated us well. And, going to a new home, a new arena, it fits the city well. I mean, that's something that the Grand Rapids Gold deserves. And hopefully we'll bring them a championship here next season.
We last spoke to you a couple weeks ago when the season was coming to an end, but what have you been up to since then, maybe both personally and professionally?
Well, personally, just trying to just trying to perfect my craft, getting better, going to coaching seminars. I participated in the NBA pre-draft camp, which is an NBA combine for prospects. I was able to coach some of our up-and-coming guys, get a sneak peek at some guys that might not make it to the NBA, but be put into the G League draft. So I got a heads up on scouting. And then also I coach AAU girls basketball. So I travel around the country in a 16-passenger van with these young women as they aspire to take their dreams on to college and earn a college scholarship. So staying busy and spending time with the family, trying to balance all of that stuff and get ready for next season. So there's not a dead time for me. There are no off seasons when you live the life of the Jet, but I'm enjoying every minute of it. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Sure. And I know yesterday was, I think, an incredibly emotional day just across sports. It seemed like it was, just very trivial to talk about something other than what happened in that tragedy at that Texas elementary school. I don't know if you had a chance to see what Steve Kerr said about the situation. He made just a really emotional plea to have some action be done to address gun violence in this country. What are your thoughts on maybe what he had to say in that emotional press conference, if you saw it?
Yeah, too many times the last 5 or 6 years that we've had to turn on the TV or turn on social media and see senseless acts of violence by the hands of guns. And, for me, it's something that's close to my heart because I do have a 7-year-old daughter. I have a middle school age daughter, college daughters, and a high school daughter. So, you never know. You always got to enjoy every moment that you have and cherish those moments with your children because the world is just not a safe place these days. Hopefully, the lawmakers or the powers that be can put a system in place where, we do get some sense of being able to be comfortable having our kids go off to school or going out to the grocery store and not have to worry about someone committing a senseless act. My hearts go out to all those that were affected by the violence the other day. And, just know that we're praying for you and your families.
Yeah, where's your family right now? Are they traveling a little bit with you, or where's home base for them?
Home base for us is in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
So obviously, we're pretty close to the situation that happened down in that area in Texas. So, again, just prayers up, to all those families and all those young kids, man. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to see them last night? I imagine maybe, the hug was a little bit stronger than maybe it had been,
Yeah, no doubt. And knowing that the school year was coming to an end, today was our last day of school for all our kids. And just fortunate and happy that they're safe and, are able to enjoy a summer with the kids where we know that, a lot of people aren't going to be fortunate this time around to have a great summer.
Sure. And I don't want to end on, a somber note here. So maybe do you want to give some way too early predictions of who will be crowned the NBA champion this year?
Well, you know what? The Golden State Warriors are playing extremely well. And, if you look at the Eastern Conference, Miami or Boston, whoever comes out of that, not writing off Dallas, they still have a fighting chance. But if Golden State gets to the finals, they would be my odds-in favorite. I know I'm going to make a lot of people in Boston mad. I don't care if I make people in Miami mad because that was a bitter rival for me throughout my career. So hopefully it's Golden State, Dallas, and or Boston, and we'll see what happens in the end. But two great teams, all three franchises have had a phenomenal season to this point. You can't really pick a winner, but I'm just excited because the NBA basketball is at the highest peak right now when you talk about entertainment and performance, and it's a great time to be a part of the game.
All right, awesome. Jason, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Until next time when we see you here back in Grand Rapids, but for now, thank you so much.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
You too.